Well, thank you for joining me for Coffee with Bill. I'm your host, Bill Rose, and my guest today is the legendary Don Barry.
Hi, Billy. Good to be here with you.
Well, thank you. Now, Don doesn't drink coffee, but he does drink tea, and today he's got water, but it's not about the drink, it's about the caffeine. I got my coffee. So, Don, are you ready for my segment, Things You Didn't Know?
Yes, I am, Billy Rose.
All right. Well, as you know, Arizona has got all these little fidget toys right here called Poppets. Did you know that was invented by an Israeli couple named Theo and Ora Koster
Really?
in 1975? Now, I personally think they look like they're real boring. You can pick one up and see it. But it's supposed to relieve stress and stuff like that. But I personally, it doesn't mean nothing to me. But
Doesn't
my
do
kid,
much for me either.
yeah, but my kid loves it.
There you go.
But Ora Theo Koster, did you know that Theo was a classmate of Anne Frank, the legendary Anne Frank?
Oh, really?
And Theo had changed his name and to a non-Jewish name, and he got with a non-Jewish family, and he was able to survive the Holocaust. Unfortunately, Anne Frank didn't. Now, this toy has had many names, but this particular thing, the Poppet, didn't become popular until it was on TikTok a couple of years ago, and a monkey named Gatelin Ray was playing with it. And then it hit the shelves in Target, and it went from there.
Huh.
So these are the things you didn't know.
Just didn't know that.
Nope. And if you've ever seen the Guess Who, that game also came from Theo and Ora Koster, their thing here. Did you know what happened in this date in 1964?
I was around, but I don't remember what happened.
Now, my producer, Rich Ferguson, did you know what happened on that date?
No.
Well, you should have, because this is one of your favorite groups. This is what happened in 1964, this day in history. The musical British invasion with the arrival of the Beatles in the U.S., and 2 days they later performed on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Mm-hmm.
And
I watched that show.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And so that was watched by 73 million viewers, and Beatlemania stormed America. But yeah, this is some of the things that have happened back in 1964. So now we're going to hit the weather with our chief meteorologist, Bobby Blackwater. Over to you, Bobby.
What? Well, I don't know why I gotta be out here all in the cold while Bill and Don are inside drinking hot coffee. Oh, are we live? Oh, this is the weather guy, Bobby Blackwater. And as you can see, it is cold outside while Bill and Don are inside all nice and warm. That's where I'm going. Back to you, Bill and...
Who's that? Oh.
Okay, now for the news. Did you know that in the month of January, 24 officers were shot and 4 passed away? That was in January. And I can't imagine what the families were going through, Don. So what does the Bible tell us on how we can cope with loss?
Well, you know, Jesus, several places, gives comfort to families. One verse that sticks in my mind from Revelation that I've heard many times and used many times in funerals is it says, and God shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, and neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things have passed away. And that's God's promise to those who have trusted him and believe in him. And, you know, there is a heaven, and he's preparing a place for every one of us. And it's, you know, with an officer, with a murder, that's a terrible thing. And I can only imagine what the families go through, that they suffer from that. You know, having worked in mental health for a number of years, you worked in corrections. You know, it wasn't the same, but in a lot of ways it is. There's a lot of meanness, a lot of evil in the world. And I'm reminded of another verse where Jesus was talking to his disciples, and he was foretelling his own death. And he shared with them in John 14:3, and I go to prepare a place for you. I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may also be. And in an earlier verse to that same scripture, he says, there's no greater love than a man lay down his life for his friends. And I think about those officers. They protect not only their friends, but everybody. They're out there doing a job that a lot of people hate them. And yet, when you're in trouble, who do you call? You call the police, because you know they will be there for you. And in a lot of cases, these men and women have just laid down their lives for other people.
And we've lost one of our own police officer here,
Right here.
in Chester, and I was kind of grateful that the city itself rallied around that family. I learned from Pastor Mike that we can never say we know how you feel, because we don't.
We don't. No.
But we can find peace and joy by knowing Jesus Christ, and He gets us through those times. So we got something coming up in, I guess, about a week. When is it?
It's the 16th of February.
With the
Wednesday
Connect
night.
group. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've had the book since December, and we were preparing, had a little meeting and preparing what was coming down the pike for 2022. And I said, boy, this is an awesome book. And coincidentally, it's kind of a God thing. It's a 5-week course, and we're going to start on the 16th of February, and we'll finish up in the middle of March. And it just so happens the night that we finish is the night of the Jewish celebration of Purim, which is what this book is based on. It is based on the book of Esther. Max
Lucado here.
Wrote this book in the winter of 2020. He uses what we went through as a nation, as a world, with the COVID, and makes comparisons to what the Israelites were going through at that time as they were captives of Babylon. And it's some great parallels there. Of course, it's two different things, but both of them were very deadly, and it's very interesting in how he makes those comparisons. And I love his writings anyway.
We've had several things.
We've
with
had
Max,
several by him.
Max
Yeah.
Lucado.
Yeah.
And I am looking forward to this because I've been coming here for about 20 years. I've had you as a Sunday school teacher. I've seen you preach, and you're a good presenter when it comes to teaching things.
Thank you, Bill.
And I just wanted to thank you for that. So this is going to be on Wednesdays.
Wednesday nights on our Connect groups. We've been really holding a good crowd. I believe the 10-second rule, I think we had averaged around 40, 42 every Wednesday.
That's pretty good.
And yeah, that's really good. And the ladies have prepared some great meals for us in the past, and I know they'll do that again.
So not only are you getting fed spiritually,
Yeah.
you're getting fed physically.
That's right. And good stuff both ways.
I think I've come here and, hey, look, I've went up for seconds and I've never been denied because I'm a big boy, and I look forward to every time I come here, I'm getting fed. What else can we see here in the future as far as, I know we got a pandemic and we're doing these Connect groups. What other things that we got going on? Pray and Go coming up.
Pray and Go. Hopefully some new Pray and Goers have signed up for that. If you haven't, there's still time. It's a simple thing to do. Jane and I did it this last round, and it takes maybe an hour of your time on a Sunday afternoon to walk down a street. You don't have to talk to people. You don't have to do anything. Talk to God, and you pray for the house that you walk up past.
And people, I just wanted people to know that I did the last Pray and Go, and I think I only did it one time. So it's not like you're doing it every week.
No.
And
And the more people who do sign up, the farther apart it will be when you do it again.
So when we do this Connect group, we come here about 5:00 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're talking about. Connect group starts at 6. There's a meal from 5 to 6, but the actual class starts at 6. Back to you, Bill.
And is this a half hour long?
It'll run about an hour. We'll start with our session at 6 o'clock, and We will see Max Lucado, and he'll do a presentation, and then we'll have a short time for discussion. We'll be out of here by 7 o'clock.
And that's great. And I'm going to tell you, I've been to the last couple of Connect groups, and I enjoy it because not only that, we get to fellowship before and get fed. So you want to get here on 5 o'clock on Wednesdays.
Yeah, it still starts at 6, meal from 5 to 6. Back to you, Bill.
And we have services starting at what time on Saturdays?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. And we have services at 10:30 on Sunday where you can come and join me right before the service and we can have a cup of coffee.
That's right. And the lovely Sherry Rose and
Jama.
Jama Goldsmith are out there serving that coffee up. They do a great job with that.
And if you want to join in and help with coffee, get here a little early and you can make some coffee and help out Jama and Sherry. So I just wanted to thank you guys for joining us with Coffee with Bill, and I'd like to see you next week.
Thanks for having me, Billy.
Thank you. And remember, love God, love people, and live like Jesus.
That's just what Tim Hall said a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of.
You think?
Well, we got crushed.
Oh, we got crushed.